Hello, I am EMSAG, Executive Motivational Speaker, Anthony Giarrusso. I come with an important message. Knowledge is power. You may have heard that knowledge is power, but what does that mean? This means you are able to talk to others about your problems, but just not about your own problems, but other people's problems as well. We all have problems, don't we? Let's explore a few problems that are well known here in the state of Florida. We have many issues that need to be addressed. Tobacco, drug addiction. Opium, drug addiction. Hurricanes, water pollution, soil pollution, air pollution, mosquito-transmitted diseases, and Florida's declining orange groves. These are all things that can affect every single one of us here in the state of Florida at any given time. That's why we need to talk about these things. Their problems, their issues. When you share that knowledge of these problems and you talk about them, then you can try to find a solution to those problems. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is talking about a problem that you or somebody else may have and then finding the solution. Knowledge is power. Drug addicted tobacco users deny that they smoke or chew too much. Drug addicted tobacco users can't leave their tobacco drug at home. Drug addicted tobacco users may put cases of cigarettes in their purses or even leave them in their trucks or vans. Drug addicted tobacco users can't get enough. There's a huge tobacco epidemic here in the state of Florida. And yes, tobacco is a drug. And many of these people are drug addicted and they will continue paying every single penny in their pocket, which means that they don't have as much money to do really cool, amazing things like not smoke and go on vacation, or not smoke and go to that museum you always wanted to go to, or not smoke and go and enjoy some fine dining, or not smoke and take your children to Disney World. But no, you had to smoke and spend all that extra money away, so now you can't take those very disappointed children to Disney World, and it's all your fault because you spent all the money on tobacco, you drug addicted tobacco user. Oh my goodness. I gotta tease them. I have to. It's funny. It's serious. I don't want them to be addicted. But at the same time, you have to laugh at this because it's like, it's so true that they do, a lot of them do complain about not having enough money when they're spending all this money on their cigars or their little thing of dip chew tobacco or cigarettes. They'll spend thousands of dollars on this stuff per year, per person, when they're that addicted, and they'll smoke it every single day. But then they don't have enough money to do these really cool, amazing things, and it's their fault. because they chose to be addicted to cigarettes and tobacco, this drug, which is legal, but it's still a drug, right? It's the same thing with opioids, right? We have a huge opioid epidemic as well. It is not as big as the tobacco epidemic, but still opioids, right? And then you have heroin and fentanyl on top of that. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? Really? And some opioids are legal through prescription, right? And it's like, why do you want to be drug addicted? It doesn't make sense. And a lot of people, you see a lot of people who are now addicted to opioids just because their doctor recommended it. So it's really the doctor's fault. But then you, the individual, should have known enough about opioids to avoid it altogether. Now, can opioids reduce pain? Absolutely, they can. But then you're addicted. You see the problem here? So you may want to consider getting like a surgery if you can, or try using a different type of thing that's not as addictive as opium. That's just my recommendation to you. I can't force you to not do that. I can't force you to do it either. But it's important to talk about, right? That's why I'm bringing it up. I want you guys to talk about the opium epidemic, the tobacco epidemic that's here in the state of Florida, which is a huge problem. So I've got homework for you now. That's right, homework. And even if you're an adult, you got homework from me. Your homework is to start talking about these things. Tell your friends about the hurricanes. I know a lot of people like to talk about it. So talk about it a little more. What about the trash at the beach or in the ocean? Or even in lagoons, rivers, lakes, contaminants in the water supply? Talk about it. Knowledge is power. What about those disgusting biosludge contaminants in soil? Soil pollution. Or how about toxic chemicals in air? That's pretty important to talk about. Go forth and talk with your family about these things. Knowledge is power. What about mosquito-borne illness? Mosquito-transmitted diseases? Allegedly, by the health department here in Florida, there is leprosy, drug-resistant tuberculosis, and even black plague. That have been found in some mosquitoes here in this state. That's a huge deal. Right, just because every single mosquito doesn't carry a disease or a virus, or some really dangerous bacteria, you have to realize that some people have been bitten by mosquitoes and they've gotten these diseases from mosquito bites. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. So talk about it. And probably one of the saddest things Because in my childhood, I remember going to the orange groves, getting the fresh orange juice, picking my own oranges. I don't think they even have that anywhere around here anymore. And if they do, put it in the comments below so I can go. I'd really love to do that again. But you see tons and tons of orange groves off our highways and stuff. And now they're being cleared, they're being developed into housing developments. You know? And it's kind of sad, possibly in a decade, maybe 2 decades, we'll have so few orange groves that they might have to change the Florida license plate logo without oranges. You might say, oh, it's not a big deal. We can get orange juice from California or from some other state. But here's the thing, like, when you think of Florida, you think of oranges. You know? And it would be very sad to see all of these orange companies go out of business, which is going to raise the price of orange juice in the future, which is going to be really obnoxious. But seriously think about this, because this could happen. If they cut down all of the orange groves and the orange growing manufacturers and companies out there, and I say manufacturers because some are in fact GMO, but even if they knock all that stuff out, orange juice will be valued like some kind of luxurious commodity rather than something everybody pretty much has at breakfast time. You know, it's going to completely change not just Florida, it'll hurt Florida a lot, but it could change the whole USA. And oranges might not even be sold in supermarkets. Or if they are, they might be grown in other states. Possibly we might have to import oranges from other places around the world. Think about that. That would be a pretty big change. There's a orange juice product from Simply Orange Juice. Now they do other beverages and stuff, but I've seen labels where it says that oranges, or some of the oranges that they're getting, are coming from Mexico and Brazil. So they're already starting to import these oranges because Florida doesn't have enough oranges for the orange juice market. So think about that. And of course, there's orange juice that's sent worldwide out of Florida too. So think about that. A lot of things could significantly change. Do you really want your children or your grandchildren to really drink overpriced orange juice in the future? I'm just teasing, but that could happen. That is theoretically possible. So talk about it. Knowledge is power. I am executive motivational speaker Anthony Giarrusso. Thank you for watching.